in observance to the 5, 10, 15 rule, there are spoilers ahead. You've been warned. It's about damn time. I told you I had a surprise. Who's to say that this is the game that would be released in December of last year? This is a tie-in game between Yakuza 6 Song of Life, or Song of Dumbass for people who know, and also Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon, which is Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. And unfortunately that title is not really permanent because, well, it's Kiryu. It's not gonna last long. So with that said, for this review, we got pros to cover, cons to cover, and more importantly, punks to beat up throughout the entirety of Japan. So with that said, let's go! If you thought that Yong Ya's voice acting is what killed this game, no, that would be this network here. Let's be honest. While this is supposed to be a DLC expansion to Yakuza Like a Dragon, to try to tie in between what happened to Kiryu in Yakuza 7 and Yakuza 6, this right here pretty much kills any momentum of the game because you cannot even progress through certain chapters without this network. You can't even go any further in your development with your own skills without this network. On top of this network having skills that you have to buy with money. And in order for you to actually get more money, you'll have to buy the skills from the Akame network. You all thought Part-Time Hero was bad in Like a Dragon? Like a Dragon Gaiden says hello to the stepbrother that pretty much make Part-Time Hero much more bearable. As you have clients you have to help in order for you to accomplish pretty much anything in this game. Speaking of being locked at... Wait a minute. Is that what I think it is? You mean to tell me that of all the mini-games throughout the Yakuza series, out of all the games, hell, you could have brought Dragon Card here. You bring this pile of shit here? You could have brought Majima everywhere. Hunting, fishing, anything. Why did you bring back Pocket Circuit Fighter? This shit sucks. And you want to know what's worse? You can't get any better parts until, guess what? You gotta upgrade the Akame network. Why? Why is this back? Why is this here? It serves no purpose. It serves absolutely no purpose whatsoever but to raise up Akame points and to more than likely have to play multiple rivals just so that you could get, believe it or not, a Dragon Ball for a side story. No, I'm not kidding. And you have to find your rivals through the Akame network as well. So yeah, more reason why that shit sucks. Why do you do this, Sega? Why? There is no reason for this to even exist at all. None! Jesus Christ, I need to take a break for a little bit. Okay, I'm calm, I'm cool, I'm relaxed. Now where was I? Oh yeah! Let's further get on to this. The DLC. There's no reason for the DLC to exist. All this is something that could have been in post-game. But this is the start of where Like a Dragon put post-game behind a paywall. Real stupid of you, Sega. And on a minor nitpick moment, since we spend 3/4 of the game in Sotenburi, you'd have thought that Outlaw's Lullaby would be playing as you would be fighting in Sotenburi. I have a newsflash for you. No, it doesn't. That's one thing Like a Dragon actually got right that this game didn't. Seriously, that's the freaking national anthem for Sotenburi! And now for the big elephant in the room that most of YouTube made fun of. This guy being the voice of Kiryu. Let me be blunt when I say that this is by far his worst performance. He's done much better work as a voice actor, especially as Pucci and JoJo. But here, it's not like he wasn't even trying at all. And the same could be said with Sega and their sound mixing in general. Young Ya is far from the worst thing, because Sega has a penchant of recycling Japanese voice dialogue and using AI, and they started in Like a Dragon. So yeah, it carries on here, and it also, from what I understand, carries on in the newest game that was released in January. So you have a mixture of English voice acting and Japanese AI voice acting. Really lazy on your part, Sega, but unfortunately, the laziness doesn't stop there. Whether this is on Steam, the past gen, or next gen consoles, you'll be seeing this loading screen a lot, because Sega did not optimize their shit at all. I'm sorry, nobody can defend the fact that Sega did not optimize this game whatsoever. And lastly, the biggest issue I have is primarily with the story. I know for a fact he was supposed to have erased his name due to the events of not only Yakuza 5, but Yakuza 6 Song of Dumbass. But here's the problem. It's no longer a spoiler, it's a trope. Every time Kiryu tries to lay low, it backfires tremendously, and he still has to come out of hiding to fix the crap caused by, surprise surprise, the Omi fucking Alliance. Seriously, that group is nothing more than a detriment to the story, as opposed to being just villains that needed to be defeated. That's my biggest issue with the story, my biggest issue with this game. The Omi Alliance at this point in time practically ruins everything. I know there's some good characters, some standout villains that came out from the Omi Alliance, but the Omi Alliance as a whole just ruins the whole concept of Yakuza, especially when they were supposed to be either dismantled or completely in hiding, one of the two. But unfortunately, Like a Dragon had went there and made them stronger and more of a menace than ever before, and this is supposed to be during the events where the Omi, well, no longer are a thing and they have been disbanded. The fact of the matter is, every time there's some strings pulled where Kiryu is saved from death, and more importantly, bailed out to try to fix the problems the Omi has literally caused. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time for us to end our stay with the cons and go straight to the... Thank the Lord that we are out of the RPG world and are actually whooping people's asses in real time. So basically speaking, we are beating up punks just like in Yakuza 6, as you can tell by the ragdoll physics, but here's the thing. At least it's back to Zero style of leveling as opposed to 3, 4, 5, 6 Song of Dumbass, and also Kiwami 2 while we're at it. And while we're at it also, Yakuza Like a Dragon, where we had to use experience points to level. At least you have more money to work with than what you did in Like a Dragon, where it actually caps off once the enemies start getting too strong. That's not the case. As time goes on, you're going to get more and more money, and you will probably top off at least 2, 3, 4 million after going through bunches of punks. which you will be using, by the way, to get your accessories unlocked. And not just that, you'll be unlocking all sorts of skills as well. Yeah, the accessories have stats, and yes, there is bad stats in the game, but at least for the most part, you will have a way around them. More importantly, you have all sorts of skills at your disposal the moment you get through certain points of the story and sadly have to invest in the Akame network. You will have it to where you'll be able to get drunk, and while you're in true heat mode, you'll end up gaining heat as you're drunk. But more importantly, you can actually have it to where you can save yourself from dying, and more importantly, get into automatic heat while you're dying. Hell, you can launch drones and exploding cigarettes at people. So many things that you can do when you get the money for it. And there's a lot of ways to get money. Yakuza is not without it, and this is no different. In fact, you can also pick up things like plates and many items from random suitcases. Although you won't be able to pick up, sapphire, ruby, and diamond as they're exclusive to Zero, there are platinum all the way down to iron places you can sell at the pawn shop. And the pawn shop is going to be the place that you are going to be going to probably picking up stamina and royals and things of that nature. But whatever the case, there are a lot of things to pick up, including keys. Also, remember I said you can power yourself up? Well, guess what? Even smoking powers yourself up. It will actually restore your heat and your health and nothing more. That's right. It will actually be good for you. There is no harmful side effects whatsoever for taking a smoke break. I promise. I swear onto the seven heavens. No, seriously, you actually do gain some health back, if not some heat. So with that said, we now can go to the arena, which is also back among many things, and trust me, having your jobbers beat up people in Team Hell battles is pretty much cathartic and awesome. And while yeah, you gotta get them all through the Akame network, still, you're gonna be gaining lots of money from primarily the Coliseum. And trust me when I say, you are not gonna be without money. The payouts are ridiculous this time around as opposed to Yakuza 6 for some reason. Oh yeah, and the fact that they have a Coliseum, unlike with Yakuza 7, that is a breath of fresh air. At least we won't have to traverse through whoop-that-trick sewers. And hey, we even got ourselves a special cameo. Cameo from Judgment, as a matter of fact. Characters that I honestly am not familiar with because I have not played Judgment. I know, shocker, right? But I know who they're from because there are lots of memes involving these guys. And that's how I know about Judgment, the memes. But whatever the case, even characters who are from other series, or more importantly, characters who are partnering up with you, will actually do double team movestyles, and yes, those are back too. Also, the Tiger Drop makes a return, and so does blocking the Ultra Heat moves. So basically, you can counter Ultra Heat actions once you get the money to do so. And that is absolutely fabulous. So with that said, folks, I think it's time for the rating. And with the pros and cons all compiled, it is now time for the rating. Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name will get the rating of great. And the only reason why is because the gameplay's returned to form, at least to an extent. At least you're not in the RPG world. And on top of the fact that money returns, and the reason why I say money returns is because even in Like a Dragon, the only way you can get money is through selling salted crackers. Not here. There is many ways for you to make money, and there are various ways to actually have fun. The problem with the ways of having fun, it's locked behind the Akame network. And that's the biggest issue, which also makes pocket circuit fighting even more egregious. The bad sound mixing is terrible too, and on top of the fact, fuck the Omi Alliance. No, that is a con, I am not taking that back. And also, Kiryu's failure to lay low is also terrible too. Let the man have some sort of peace. Come on, y'all. I got one more game to find and play, seriously. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm done with this review. I will see you all in the next review. Peace out.